So now the next topic, Leon. Now the next topic what I am going to talk, operators and assignments. Keep studying. Operators and assignments. Operators and assignments. So do you know? So operators is the most easiest topic in SCJP. Correct or not? Okay, the most easiest topic in SCJP. Do you know 2 plus 3? What is the value? Array, don't think too much. Its value is 5. 2 into 3. What about its value? 6. Okay. From our childhood onwards, we are learning plus, minus, multiplication and so on. Nothing is there in operators concept. Correct or not? Okay, this same. But do you know, if the best book for SCJP is Katisira book. Katisira is the best book for SCJP. So if you open this book, and in operators concept she used one valuable point, one valuable statement she used in the introduction part. Most of the exam takers saw least score in operators concept only. Like she used the word. Whenever I prepared that book for my exam, then really I saw that US people may be poor in the mathematics. Like I ignored that, and then so anyway I went the exam. I didn't feel any difficulty, then completed. But slowly my students are coming. Sir, I cleared SCJP with this much score. Like the students are coming. Then whenever the students are coming and they are telling, sir, this is my score, like I observe there are several students who cleared SCJP exam. In their score sheet, very less number of marks they got in operators concept only. Okay, one student marks even I remember. Do you know, he got 87 overall percentage in SCJP 1.4 version. 87. In that 87, so do you know, language fundamentals 100 percentage. Language fundamentals 100. Next, exception handling 100 percentage. Collections concept 100 percentage. Multi-threading concept 95 percentage. Okay. Operators and assignment concept 36 percentage. Are you getting? 36 percentage, because in a CJP chapter wise, I mean in the old version chapter wise scores they are going to display. That's in operators and assignment 36 percentage. Real I got shocked. Okay, this is. Then I opened Katisira book. I read once again that line. Most of the exam takers saw the least score in operators concept only. Like I underlined that statement, right? That is the power of operators concept. Are you getting that? Okay, this is. Don't underestimate this concept, even it is very basic concept. Are you getting that? Okay, don't underestimate this topic, because so there are several loopholes are there where compulsory you people should required to remember very carefully. There are several loopholes are there internally, right? Okay, now so related to operators concept, what our agenda related to these operators, what is our agenda, right? Here just observe the point well. So just of course within half an hour time max, you can able within half an hour max you can able to identify why I used the most difficult topic in SCJP is operators concept. Why I used the word, you can able to expect here. So better to take the agenda for operators concept. Take this one, increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. Second, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. Next, third, string concatenation operator. String concatenation operator. Next, relational operators. String concatenation operator, relational operators. Next, equality operators. Equality operators. Next, instance of operator. Instance of operator. Next, bitwise operators. Bitwise operators. Next, short circuit operators. bitwise operator, short circuit operators. Next, typecast operator, typecast operator. Next, assignment operators, conditional operator, new operator, like. So take clear, almost 3 or 4 sessions we are going to spend only on this topic. Increment and decrement operators, arithmetic operators, string concatenation, relational operators, equality operators. Next, instance of bitwise short circuit operators, typecast operator, assignment operator, like. I hope completed, right? Now especially last 3 things are the most valuable conclusions, especially for the interview room. New versus new instance, instance of versus is instance. Next, class not found exception, no class def found error. Class not found exception, no class def found error. Like the most valuable, especially for the interview room sake, I added these things, not required for SCJP anywhere, right? Completed, I hope. This is the agenda for few days, almost luckily today and mostly tomorrow morning I will finish this concept anyway. Completed, right? Take clearly. New versus new instance, instance of versus is instance, class not found exception versus no class def found error. Class not found exception versus no class def found error, like. Completed, I hope. Now better to keep subheading the first one. What is the first one? First one, increment and decrement operators. Keep subheading increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. Okay, now if we consider increment operators, so how many increment operators are there? There are 2 increment operators. Now just observe, y is equal to plus x. Now y is equal to plus x. Can you please increment x value and assign incremented value to y? This type of assignment is called pre-increment operator, right? This type of assignment is called what? Pre-increment operator, right? Next, y is equal to x plus plus. Y is equal to x plus plus is nothing but this type of increment operator is called post increment operator. Post increment operator is nothing but like. So what is pre-increment? What is post-increment? You should aware clearly, right? Okay, this is. So first, can you please assign and then increment? Can you please increment and then assign? So can you increment is going to be happen at the beginning is nothing but this is called what? Pre-increment. Increment is happening at the end. This is called post-increment operator, right? Same thing by default applicable for decrement operators also. Is nothing but just observe this one. The first one pre-decrement. The first one pre-decrement. Y is equal to y is equal to what? Minus x. Second one post decrement. Second one post decrement. Y is equal to x minus. So just observe. So what are various? So increment and decrement operators we have. So there are 2 increment operators, pre-increment, post-increment. There are 2 decrement operators, pre-decrement and post. How clear class? Now let me go for a simple example. idea to review your existing knowledge, like have a look once. Expression and initial value of x, initial value of x, next value of y, value of y, final value of x. Tabular form I am providing here. Expression is y is equal to plus x. So initial value of x is 10, value of y, okay, is, can you spell out what is the value of y? 11. Final value of x, what is the final value of x? X will be incremented and incremented value sign is 11. Okay, next y is equal to x plus plus is a 10. Can you tell what is the value of y? Y is so first assign and then increment. 11. Anyway x value will be incremented. Equal to y is equal, initial value of x is 10. Can you tell what is the value of y? First decrement and then assign. First decrement and then x is 10. First assign and then decrement. What is the value of? Are you able to understand? So take clearly. So what is the value of x? What is the value of y? What is final value of x? Like, so people should have clarity. Next one, here legend. Now, so up to this, I don't think you people got some new point from my discussion. Okay, I'm sure the next things related to SEJP, there are several new things you people are going to get. Here loopholes related to SEJP, let me explain. Here I'm taking, just observe, int x is equal to 10, int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus x. So int y is equal to plus x. System dot out dot println of y. Can you tell what the answer by default we are going to get? SOP of y. What is the answer? 11 itself is the answer. So there is no doubt at all. Now I am taking int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus x. Do you know what is the x value? 10. We know 10. Why don't you take plus 10 and system dot out dot println of y. Can you tell is it valid or invalid? Invalid, because if two things are there on the board, first one is valid, automatically second one invalid. Universal rule. Okay, compile time error by default you are going to get. Okay, like so why, what is the reason and which compile time error, right? Make sure you should aware. Sir, here increment and decrement operators applicable only for variables, but not for constant values. By mistake, if you are applying for constant value, immediately compile time error saying unexpected type found value. Have you observed found value required what? Variable. Found value required variable like comparative method by default you are going to get. I hope you people can aware, sir. So we can apply increment and decrement operator only for variable but not for constant values. First loophole, okay, at this point we can apply increment and decrement operators. We can apply increment and decrement operators only for, we can apply increment and decrement operators only for variables, but not for constant values, if we are trying to apply for constant values, then we will get compile time error. That's all. Here just observe the conclusion, right? Here just have a look. Let me execute and let me show the compile time error anyway, right? Here see this one. Int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus x and SOP of y. Are you getting SOP of y? Can you tell what the answer we are going to get? The answer is 11. Now observe Java C test.java. Perfectly the code compiles fine and the Java test. The answer is, have you observed, 11 is the answer. Now int y is equal to plus 10. Let me take plus 10. Now what is the output by default you are going to get? Have you observed? Unexpected type required variable found value. Are you getting that? Okay, this is, sir, found value but required variable, right? Okay, take this example anyway. Take both examples side by side. Take first one, give the tick mark, but second one invalid. Take both examples side by side. Completed, I hope. This is case 1 or conclusion 1. Okay, this is the first one related to increment and decrement operators, right? Okay, clear for all of you, right? Increment and decrement operators, case 1 or the first one, you should have clarity. Next term, sir, here just observe. Now second conclusion, you can aware, it's a very easy, just have a look. Sir, int x is equal to 10, I am taking int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus half plus x, plus half plus x, system.out.println of y. Can you tell what is the output by default you are going to get? Plus half plus x. What is the output we will get? 11 or 12? 11 or 12? Okay? By mistake, if you are taking like this, compile time error by default you are going to get. What is the reason for that? Why we are getting compile time error, right? Simple reason. Here have you observed? Plus half plus x. Regarding after applying plus operator, now it will become value. Its value will become what? 11. For the value, how you can apply 11? For the value, how you can apply 11? Like compile time error by default you are going to get. Do you know? Here compile time error saying unexpected type. Required. Which one is the required? Required variable found value required variable found value like comparative method we are going to get. I hope you people can very clearly write. Okay, this make sure, let me repeat once again. Okay, so in the case of here increment and decrement operators, after applying increment operator the result will become constant. For the constant we can't apply, that's why nesting of increment and decrement operators not allowed. Are you getting that? Nesting of increment after applying, once again applying is nothing but nesting of increment and decrement operators not allowed. Let me show this example. Like here see, int y is equal to, here see, int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus plus of plus plus x, plus plus of plus plus x SOP of y. Okay, now observe the comparative error here. Unexpected type required variable found itself is nothing but what? Value. I hope is it clear for all of you at this point. Yeah. Second, nesting of increment and decrement operators, nesting of increment and decrement operators, nesting of increment and decrement operators not allowed. Nesting of increment and decrement operators not allowed. Okay, example, take this example, right, clearly. Int x is equal to 10, take that example. Int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus plus of plus plus x SOP of y. Comparative method saying unexpected type required variable found value. So nesting of increment and decrement operators not allowed. Clear, right? Okay, next now conclusion 3. Now third conclusion, listen well. Here see, suppose I am taking int x is equal to 10, int x is equal to 10, x is equal to 11, int x is equal to 10, x is equal to 11, system dot out dot println of x, int x is equal to 10, x is equal to 11, SOP of x. Can you tell what is the output we are going to get? 11 is the answer. Suppose if I can take x as the final, valid or not? Invalid, because it is the final constant. Reassignment is not allowed. By mistake if you are taking a reassignment, immediately comparative error saying can you spell out? Cannot assign a value, cannot assign a value to final variable x. Is nothing but like comparative method by default you are going to get. Okay, cannot assign a value to final variable x, because for final variables reassignment not possible, right? Now I am taking int x is equal to 10. Observe, int x is equal to 10. Here x plus plus I am taking. Do you know x plus plus what it means? X is equal to x plus 1. After this line x value will become 11, x value will become 11. Now SOP of x, what the answer we will get? 11 is the answer. But if this x is the final, is it valid or invalid? This one, if x is the final, it is invalid. Comparative method we are going to get, because you know x plus plus means what is the x plus plus? X is equal to x plus 1. Reassignment is happening. Reassignment is possible is nothing, but it's a final reassignment you can. That's why immediately comparative method you are going to get saying cannot assign, same comparative method, cannot assign a value, to final variable x, like comparative method you are going to get. I hope you people can very clearly read. Okay, this way. So for final variables, make sure increment and decrement operators we can't apply. By mistake if you are trying to apply comparative method we will get. Any explanation is required now? Okay, at this point. For final variables, we can't apply. For final variables we can't apply increment and decrement operators. For final variables we can't apply increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, at this example, int final example, final int x is equal to 10, x plus plus SOP of x. Final int x is equal to 10, x plus plus SOP of x. SOP of x. So cannot assign a value to final variable x. Cannot assign a value to final variable x. Like comparative method we are getting. Are you able to understand, right? So we can't apply increment and decrement operators for final variables. By mistake, if you are trying to apply comparative method itself, you are going to get. Next one. Now listen this point well. So this is the third conclusion anyway, right? Now the fourth one. So make sure more concentration must be required. Here see, int x is equal to 10. Int x is equal to 10. X plus plus SOP of x. Int x is equal to 10. X plus plus SOP of x. Yeah. Char ch is equal to a ch plus plus SOP of ch. SOP of ch. Next, double d is equal to 10.5. Double d is equal to 10.5. d plus plus SOP of d. SOP of d. Next, boolean b is equal to true b plus plus system dot out dot println of b. Are you getting? Just observe, among these 100% pakka, first one is valid. First one, do you know what is the output we will get? 11 valid. 100% pakka, last one valid or invalid? Invalid because sir, true plus plus means false, false minus means true. No such type of terminology. Are you getting? Increment and decrement operators we can't apply. We can't apply for boolean type. By mistake, if you are trying to apply comparative method, we are going to get saying operator plus plus cannot be applied to boolean. Is nothing but like comparative method we will get. Operator plus plus cannot be applied to boolean like comparative method, right? I hope you people can very clearly, right? Okay, this say. Make sure you should have clarity, right? Okay, this say. So first one valid, last one invalid. Don't keep any doubt at all. But what about second? Is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Third one valid or invalid? Second one valid. Third one valid. Array. Second one valid. So a plus plus means for the output b is going to come. Array, why you are laughing, man? Ch plus plus a, after a incremented, next is nothing but b. Valid or not? 98 or b? Okay. d plus plus valid or not? Valid. 10.5 plus 1 means 11.5 by default we are going to get. 11.5 valid or not? Valid or invalid? This one perfectly valid or invalid? Make sure. So this one is nothing but valid. Automatically this one is also valid. Most of the people are going to fail. Increment and decrement operators applicable only for int or only for integral types. No, we can apply increment and decrement operator for every primitive type, for every primitive type except a boolean. Are you getting? So 100% pakka, this one is the valid, same answer, this one is the valid, same answer, right? Don't keep any doubt in that. So can you please have a look? Still some people may have big doubt. Here see, now first one, observe this, int x is equal to 10, int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to plus plus x, SOP of y, SOP of y. Have you observed? So the code compiles fine. Now if I run, 11 is the answer. Okay, x plus plus, sorry, 1 minute, let me take directly x plus plus and let me print x value, right? Okay, like so what the answer by default we are going to get 11 is the answer. Now instead of int, let me take char and then a. Char x is equal to a, x plus plus SOP of x. You know perfectly B is answer. Most of the people are going to feel 98 is the answer, or otherwise compile time error, like no such type of error anyway. Have you observed? B itself is the answer. I hope it's visible for you. Okay, B is the answer, right? Next double x is equal to 10.5. I'm taking 10.5. Then 10.5 plus 1 is nothing but what the answer? Valid 11.5 itself is the answer, right? Okay, this is next. Instead of double, boolean x is equal to true. I'm taking boolean x is equal to true. I'm taking. Now we observed here. So operator plus plus cannot be applied to boolean. Now I hope that terminology is clear. We can apply increment and decrement operators for every primitive type except what? Boolean. Except boolean you can apply everywhere at this point. We can apply increment and decrement operators. We can apply increment and decrement operators for every primitive type. For every primitive type except a boolean. For every primitive type except a boolean. Okay, like take all these examples including compile time error also. Starts from the first. Take from first one, second, third, like take all including compile time error. So all these things compulsory you people should aware. So it is also one important loophole related to operators, right? Clear, right? Okay. Now next one. So we can apply increment and decrement operators for every primitive type except boolean. For the boolean you can't apply anywhere, right? Now the next one, a bit more important part. Here see, think a bit carefully now. Byte B is equal to 10. I'm taking byte B is equal to 10 I'm taking. Here B is equal to B plus 1. Byte B is equal to 10, B is equal to B plus 1. SOP of B I'm taking. SOP of B. Now byte B is equal to 10, B plus plus SOP of B. Alright? Seems to be both are same. Can you tell what is the output in the first case and what is the output in the second case? Yeah, 100% pakka. First one 11, automatically second one 11. Think a bit carefully. If in both cases if I am going to get 11, then why I am explaining this one as a separate case? Ayo. First one? First one? Compile time error. Second one? 11. What is the output? First one? Make sure. So most of the people are going to feel B plus plus is nothing but what? B is equal to B plus 1. Correct or not? B plus plus is nothing but B is equal to B plus 1 like. Okay. Now the point here is b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Both are not the same. Regarding both are not same, there is a difference is there. What is the difference we should aware? Okay, keep submitting. Difference between b plus plus, difference between b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Difference between b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. And b is equal to b plus 1. Difference between b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Is equal to b plus 1. Okay, right? So do you know what is the output? I mean, what is the difference, right? So to understand this difference, let me explain. So first case, compile time method you are going to get an answer. Second case, 11 is the answer. But to understand this point, why we are getting compile time method, let me explain another example so that you people can aware clearly, right? Now observe, byte A is equal to 10. Byte A is equal to 10. Byte B is equal to 20. Byte C is equal to A plus B. System.out.println of C. What is the output? The people who attended already operators concept, be silent so that the remaining people can think and they can remember the point well. What is the answer we are going to get? Yes, byte A is equal to 10, byte B is equal to 20, byte C is equal to A plus B and SOP of C. What is the answer by default we are going to get? You know, seems to be very innocent code. Regarding byte C is equal to A plus B, very innocent. Sir, 10 plus 20 is nothing but 30. SOP of C is a 30 only. But compiler will give left and right. Observe that. What is the reason for that? Okay. Here, A is what type? Byte type. B is what type? Byte type. And what is the plus? Plus is arithmetic operator. If we apply any arithmetic operator between two variables A and B, between two variables, any arithmetic operator, need not be plus and a plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo, right? Any arithmetic operation. If we apply any arithmetic operation between two variables A and B, the result type is always max of int comma type of A comma type of B. Are you getting the result? Sir, this result is what type? Max of int comma type of A comma type of B. Sir, max of int comma type of A. A is what type? A is what type? Byte. B is what type? Byte. Sir, max of int byte. Which is the max? Int. That's why this result is what type? Int type. Sir, how you can assign int value to byte variable? Int means how many bytes? 4 bytes. But byte is nothing but how many bytes? 1 byte. Sir, how you can assign 4 byte value to 1 byte variable? Immediately compile time error by default we are going to get saying possible loss of precision. Possible loss of precision. Found int require found int but require byte. This is the compile time error by default we will get. I hope you people can be very clearly. So if we apply any arithmetic operation between two variables A and B, the result type is always nothing but max of int comma type of A comma type of B. Is it clear for all of you? Let me explain here. Let me show this pointer now. Here byte A is equal to 10 I am taking. Byte B is equal to 20 I am taking. Byte C is equal to A plus B. Byte C is equal to A plus B, SOP of C. Are you getting? Byte C is equal to A plus B, SOP of C. Java C, test.java. Have you observed? Same code only. Seems to be very innocent. Sir, 10 plus 20 is nothing but 30 like. But compiler is ready to give left and right. Have you observed? Possible loss of precision. Found int required is nothing but byte. I hope, are you able to understand? Right? This is one important conclusion related to arithmetic operators, right? First at this point. If we apply any arithmetic operator, if we apply any arithmetic operator between two variables a and b, if we apply any arithmetic operator between two variables a and b, between two variables a and b, the result type is always max of int comma type of a comma type of b, max of int comma type of a comma type of b, better to highlight within the box next example 1, take this example clearly. Byte a is equal to 10, byte b is equal to 20, byte a is equal to 10, byte b is equal to 20, byte c is equal to a plus b, byte c is equal to a plus b, SOP of c, byte c is equal to a plus b, SOP of c. Possible loss of precision found int required byte, like what the reason, max of here have you observed, max of int comma type of a is what type, by type of b byte. Now sir, byte the result is int is 4 bytes, we are trying to assign to the 1 byte variable, that's why compile time error we are going to get. Sir, can you tell how we can handle this compile time error? Yes, I want to handle this compile time error. What is the possibility? Typecasting, right? Now byte c is equal to byte of a plus b, byte c is equal to byte of a plus b. If I can take like this perfectly is nothing but valid, then what is the output by default we are going to get? SOP of c is nothing but what? 30 itself, right? If I do typecasting, then it will become valid, right? Now just have a look once. If I can take byte c is equal to a plus b, now have you observed compile time error by default we are getting? Yes sir, possible loss of precision, like, but byte c is equal to byte of a plus b is nothing but byte b is equal to byte of a plus b, 100% pakka valid. The output by default we are going to get 30 itself. Are you getting? We can solve this compile time error by performing what? Typecasting, right? Okay, add this point also. Byte c is equal to byte of a plus b. Byte c is equal to byte of a plus b, SOP of c. Byte c is equal to byte of a plus b, SOP of c. But the answer we will get 30 itself is the answer, right? So this is, so example 1 is a clear for all of you, right? Now example 2, here say, now observe, consider only this part, byte b is equal to 10, analogy, byte b is equal to 10, b is equal to b plus 1, b is equal to b plus 1. Do you know, is it arithmetic operation or not? Yes, the result type max of int comma type of first argument, and b is what type? Byte. B is what type? Byte type. Type of second argument, 1 is what type? By default every integral number is of what type? Int type. Now can you tell what the result, Anna? The result is int. Sir, how you can assign int value to byte variable, right? Regarding b is what type? Byte. Int value to byte variable. That's why what compile time error by default we are going to get here is, can I spell out, Anna? Possible loss of precision found int but required is nothing but what? Byte. This is the compile time method by default we are getting. I hope you people can very clearly. Sir, possible loss of precision found into but required byte. Now just observe this one. Let me explain. So first one, why we are getting compile time method, right? Here see, byte b is equal to 10, byte b is equal to 10, b is equal to b plus 1 SOP of b. Have you observed? Byte b is equal to 10, b is equal to b plus 1 SOP of b. What is the output by default we are going to get? Compile time error by default we will get. Possible loss of precision found into but required byte. So in the first case, why we are getting compile time error? Now the concept is clear. Okay, and example 2. Example 2. Better to take from the board. This part now. This part. Byte b is equal to 10. Byte b is equal to 10. B is equal to b plus 1. Byte b is equal to 10. B is equal to b plus 1. SOP of b. B is equal to b plus 1. SOP of b. SOP of b. Byte b is equal to 10. B is equal to b plus 1. SOP of b. Okay. Yeah. Compile time method we are going to get. Possible loss of precision found int required byte. Possible loss of precision found into but required byte. Found into required byte, like compile time error, right? But can you tell how we can solve this problem? There is a way, you know. Completed, right? Only first part. Can you spell out how we can solve this problem? Typecasting. B is equal to byte of b plus 1. Is it valid or not? Yes, take this part also. B is equal to byte of b plus 1. B is equal to byte of b plus 1. B plus 1. So give the tick mark for that value. Okay. Now here just observe. But this one is a valid. Sir, I am not performing any typecasting. Yes, b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Both are not same. Make sure b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Both are not same. There is a difference is there. What is that difference is? In the case of b plus plus, sorry, if it is the b plus plus, internal typecasting will be performed. Are you getting? In the case of increment and decrement operator, b is equal to type of b followed by b plus 1. Are you getting? B is equal to type of b followed by b plus 1 is nothing but make sure you should aware. I hope. Are you able to understand? Now b plus plus means what, Anna? B is equal to byte of b plus 1. That's why we won't get any compile time error in this case. I hope now you can aware. So b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. Both are same or there is a difference? Difference is there. But in the case of increment and decrement operators, internal typecasting will be performed automatically. Okay, like at this point b plus plus gives, now b plus plus means what? B is equal to type of b followed by b plus 1. B is equal to type of b followed by b plus 1. Type of b followed by b plus 1, like we have. Able to understand, right? B is equal to type of b plus 1. Next example. Take this example. Byte b is equal to 10. B plus plus SOP of b. So 11 is the answer. Of course, b plus plus means what? B is equal to byte of b plus 1. B is equal to byte of b plus 1, like you should aware. Clear for all of you, right? So in the case of increment and decrement operators. Have you observed? Internal typecasting will be performed automatically, right? So that's all. These are various loopholes related to increment and decrement. Total 5 conclusions came. Can you spell out what the first one? First conclusion. Can you please cross check? Increment and decrement operators applicable only for variables but not for constant values. First one. Nesting of increment and decrement operators are not allowed. Second. Next, the third one. For final variables, increment and decrement operators not allowed. Next, fourth one. We can apply increment and decrement operators for every primitive type except a boolean. Is nothing but like. Last one, difference between b plus plus and b is equal to b plus 1. In the case of increment and decrement operators, internal typecasting will be performed automatically. We are not responsible to perform explicitly, right? I hope is clear, right? So now by this time, I am sure you can aware why operators concept is very difficult. Are you getting? There are internally several loopholes are there. Compulsory you people should aware clearly, right? I hope clear for all of you, right? Okay, this next keep submitting. Arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. Next arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. Operators. Now here see this one. Arithmetic operators within bracket plus minus multiplication division and modulo, plus minus multiplication division and modulo, plus minus multiplication division modulo, arithmetic operators. Okay, first point just now we covered is nothing but same. If we apply any arithmetic operation between two variables a and b, the result type is always if we apply between two variables a and b, the result type is always max of int comma type of a comma type of b. First take this one. I will keep more clarity here at the theory. If we apply any arithmetic operator, between two variables a and b, if we apply any arithmetic operator between two variables a and b, the result type is always max of int comma type of a comma type of b, max of int comma type of a comma type of b, type of a comma type of b, like we have. So from this discussion, make sure from this discussion here see, suppose if I am taking byte plus a byte, what is the answer? Byte plus byte, what is the result? The result is what type? Int. Don't tell byte plus byte is the byte. Okay. Next, do you know, sir, I am always using max of int comma type of a comma type of b. Which is a max, which is mean, you should have clarity. Okay, I hope you people may remember this chart. Byte to short, short to int, int to long, long to float, float to double, and char to int. Now you know which is a minimum, which is the maximum. Okay, left to right means a minimum to maximum, right? Okay, now byte plus byte, what type na? Int type. Now byte plus short, what type? Int only. Short plus short, what type? Short plus short is what type? Int type. So byte plus long, what type? Byte plus long, long type. Long plus double, what type? Double type. Double. Float plus long, what type? Float plus long, float, according to our chart, float only, right? Now make sure, here I am taking, just observe these two. System.out.println SOP of Here I am taking SOP of A plus B I am taking. A plus B. A plus B, what is the answer? Why you are thinking, man? A plus B, what is the answer? A plus B is AB. No. Here, char plus char. Char plus char. According to our chart, what is the answer? Int. Char plus char, max of int. Now, A means 97 plus B means 98. What is the answer? 195 is the answer. Not AB. A plus B is nothing but AB. Like most of the people are going to feel. No. So 195. Next, system.out.println. Sir, A plus 0.89. What is the answer? A plus 0.89. A means what? Char plus 0.89 double. Char plus double, what type? Double type. Do you know? Now A means 97 plus 0.89. What is the answer? 97.89 is the answer. Are you getting? Most of the people are going to feel A plus B is nothing but AB. A plus 0.89 compile time error like no. Happily the corresponding output by default you are going to get. Is it clear? First take all. Take this part. Byte plus byte is int. Byte plus short is int. Short plus short int type. Next byte plus long type. Byte plus long type like. So take this part first. Completed, right? After that example 1, example 2. I mean these two things you have to take after taking this part. Completed, right? And then this part, SOP of A plus B 195, A plus 0.89 is nothing but 97.89. 97.89 like we have 97.89 like. Clear, I hope. Next, even recommended to take this diagram also, which is minimum, which is maximum, like you should have clear clarity. Byte short to int to long, float double, char to int, char to int. Completed, I hope. Now listen. So this is first conclusion about what arithmetic operators write. Now the next one, observe very very carefully. SOP of 10 by 0, SOP of 10 by 0, SOP of 10 by 0.0, SOP of 0 by 0, SOP of 0.0 by 0, 0 by 0, 0.0 by 0. Can you tell what the answer? What answer we can able to get? 10 by 0, 10 by 0.0, next 0 by 0, 0.0 by 0. What is the output by default which you are going to get? First one? Arithmetic exception division by 0. Second one? Arithmetic exception division by 0, because 0 and 0.0 both are same. Next 0 by 0. 0 na. Your mathematics na. 0 by 0 is the 0. Oi. What is the answer? 0 by 0. Arithmetic exception. So 0.0 by 0. Okay. Most of the people are going to feel, sir, all these things are division by 0 only, either 0 or 0.0. In all cases, we are going to get runtime exception saying arithmetic exception division by 0. Correct or not? Okay, this is. But I am sure we want to get such a type of thing. Because in all cases, if we are going to get arithmetic exception only, why am I explaining as a separate case? Think a bit logically. In the first case, now listen this one. First, let me explain one by one. First case, 10 by 0. 10 by 0. 10 is what type? 10 is what type? Int type. 0 is what type? Int type. This result is what type? Int type. Because int by int is int only. Now, in the normal mathematics, forget about Java, all these things. Anything by 0 is nothing but what? Infinity. Have you remembered? Anything by 0, infinity, right? But in integral arithmetic means what? Byte short, int long. Is nothing but like, sorry, integral arithmetic, there is no way to represent infinity, right? Are you getting? If infinity is the result, we are going to get runtime exception saying arithmetic exception, right? Sir, result is int type, but the result is infinity. In int, there is no way to represent infinity. That's why immediately we are going to get a runtime exception saying arithmetic exception division by 0 is the first case. I hope you can aware now. So, but here let me, so I will execute and I will show anywhere, right? But let me take 10 by 0.0. Have you observed? Here 10 by 0.0. Sir, 10 is what type? 10 is what type? Int type. 0.0 is what type? Double type. Int by double, what type? Double type. Sir, in the case of double floating point arithmetic, there is a way to represent infinity. So once there is a way, that's why that infinity by default we are going to get the output. So for the second SOP, we won't get any runtime exception. We will get infinity is the answer. Are you getting the point, right? So we won't get any runtime exception. We will get what? Infinity as the answer. I hope you people can aware now. Here, let me execute this code. Here, just observe a bit very important point anyway, right? System.out.println, first one. What is the first one? 10 by 0. The code compiles fine. Now, exception in thread main, java.lang arithmetic exception division by 0. Have you observed SOP of 10 by 0? For the output, java.lang arithmetic exception division by 0 we are getting. Now, here see, 10 by 0.0. Now, have a look once. The code compiles. But the answer by default we are going to get infinity. We are not going to get any arithmetic exception, right? Oh, there is a difference is there between arithmetic exception and the infinity. Yes, in this case, right? I hope you people can aware. Now keep subverting infinity. Keep subverting infinity. Here the point. Infinity under the tab. Here. In integral arithmetic. In integral arithmetic within bracket byte short byte short int long. There is no way to represent infinity. there is no way to represent infinity. There is no way to represent infinity. Hence, if infinity is the result, hence if infinity is the result, infinity is the result, we will get arithmetic exception. In integral arithmetic. We will get arithmetic exception in integral arithmetic. Example, better to take only first one. SOP of 10 by 0. SOP of 10 by 0. SOP of 10 by 0. Okay. So runtime exception, arithmetic exception, division by 0. Arithmetic exception, runtime exception, division by 0. Like, are you getting? Next para. But in floating point arithmetic. Within bracket. But in floating point arithmetic within bracket, float and double. There is a way to represent infinity. Now just observe. Listen, have a look once. If we see Java dot lang dot double class I am showing. Profile of double class. Double is a wrapper class, right? Java dot lang dot double. If we consider, have you observed? There are two constants we are seeing. Positive infinity and negative infinity, like two constants we are seeing, right? Positive and negative infinity. And this is, so what? Java dot lang dot double extends number, like is nothing but it's a profile of double class. In the positive infinity, negative infinity, like two constants are there. But now here have you observed? Here is, if I can take Java dot lang dot integer class. Now let me take integer class. In the integer class, are you seeing any constants like positive infinity, negative infinity? No. We have only max value and min value. There is no positive and negative. Positive infinity, negative infinity. This type of terminology applicable for what? Float and double classes, right? That's why make sure. In the case of double, these two constants are there. Can you please read last point what you took? But in the floating point arithmetic, there is a way to represent infinity. For this float and double classes. For this float and double classes. For this float and double classes, F capital, D capital, float and double classes, contains the following two constants. Add positive underscore infinity, negative underscore infinity. Positive underscore infinity, negative underscore infinity. Positive infinity, negative infinity. Clear, right? Hence take clearly. Positive underscore infinity, negative underscore infinity. Hence even though result is infinity, we won't get any arithmetic exception. In floating point arithmetic. We won't get any arithmetic exception in floating point arithmetic, floating point arithmetic like. Now observe example, system dot out dot println 10 by 0.0. Now 1 minute, SOP of 10 by 0.0. You know 10 by 0.0 is nothing but we will get what is the output, infinity. This is the value of positive infinity variable. Positive infinity name of the variable, and what the value? Infinity. System dot out dot println minus 10.0 by 0. Sir, double by int, double only. So anything by 0, infinity. Double, infinity, acceptable. Okay, but it is a negative, right? That's why what is the output? Minus infinity is the output by default we are going to get. Okay, take this example. SOP of 10 by 0.0 infinity. Next, SOP of minus 10.0 by 0 is nothing but negative infinity, right? Completed, I hope. So if the result is infinity in integral arithmetic, what is the behavior? In floating point arithmetic, what is the behavior? In integral arithmetic, we are going to get what? Runtime exception, arithmetic exception. But in floating point arithmetic, we won't get any exception. Simply infinity is the answer. Clear, right? Okay, this is first two SOPs, there is no doubt. Now let me go for next SOPs. Here see, so let me remove this part also. SOP of 0 by 0. Here 0 by 0. 1 minute. Can you tell 0 is what type? Int. This is 0 is what type? Int. The result is what type? Int type. So 0 by 0. 0 by 0. Do you know? 0 by 0. What is the result? In the normal mathematics, what is the result? 0 by 0. Array, 0 will cancel 0 one time. That's why 1 is the answer. No. Don't tell. Or 0 by 0 is the answer. No. 0 by 0 in the normal mathematics it is what? Undefined. Undefined, right? Now 0 by 0 is nothing but undefined. To represent undefined results, there is no way in integral arithmetic. Are you getting? If the result is undefined, then we will get runtime exception saying, runtime exception saying arithmetic exception division by 0 if it is integral arithmetic. Are you getting that? Okay, this is. But same thing 0.0 by 0. Sir, 0.0 by 0. The result is what type? Double type. 0.0 double by int. The result is double. But in floating point arithmetic, if the result is undefined, there is a way to represent undefined result. What is that way? Is nothing but simple N A N. Are you getting? N A N. Nan. Can you tell what is the meaning of N? Not a number. There is one constant is there, N A N. If the result is undefined, in the floating point arithmetic, we are going to get which one? N A N. Just observe this example well. Sir, yeah, it is a double class. Public final class, double class. In that positive infinity, negative infinity, and the N A N is there. Are you getting N A N? But if it is integer class, sir, Java like that integer, we have min value, max value. Is there any NaN constant? Not there. Observe that. So float and double classes contains a constant NaN to represent what? Undefined results. Is it clear for all of you? That's why if the result is undefined, no problem at all in the case of floating point arithmetic. So we are going to get NaN as the output, right? Now let me show this part. SOP of 0 by 0. And now what is the answer now? SOP of 0 by 0. What is the answer? Yeah. arithmetic exception, the answer, I mean arithmetic exception division by 0. Runtime exception, arithmetic exception division by 0. Now 0.0 by 0. 0.0 by 0. I'm sure we won't get arithmetic exception. Simple, we are going to get NaN. Are you getting? NaN. Observe. So in floating point arithmetic, even though result is undefined, no problem at all, there is a way to represent undefined result. Is it clear for all of you, right? Keep subheading. Keep subheading. NaN. 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 Within bracket, not a number. Within bracket, not a number. Not a number. Not a number. Okay, under that head. In integral arithmetic, in integral arithmetic, within bracket, byte short, in integral arithmetic within bracket, byte short into long, byte short into long, there is no way to represent undefined results. There is no way to represent undefined results. Undefined results. Hence, if the result is undefined, we will get runtime exception. If the result is undefined, we will get runtime exception saying, arithmetic exception division by 0. Arithmetic exception. We will get runtime exception saying arithmetic exception. Example, SOP of 0 by 0. SOP of 0 by 0. 0 by 0. Only plus 1. Runtime exception, arithmetic exception division by 0. Next para. But in floating point arithmetic, within bracket, float and double, but in floating point arithmetic, there is a way to represent undefined results. There is a way to represent undefined results. For this float and double classes, F capital D capital, for this float and double classes contains NaN constant. For this float and double classes contains NaN constant. Float and double classes contains NaN constant. Okay. Hence, if the result is undefined, we won't get any arithmetic exception. In floating point arithmetic. We won't get any arithmetic exception in floating point arithmetic. Okay, like, sir, now SOP of 0.0 by 0. Can I spell out what the answer? NaN. SOP of minus 0 by 0.0. Minus 0 by 0.0. What is the answer? Correct. Here NaN, but here not a number, plus NaN, minus NaN, no such type of terminology. Here NaN only. Okay, take both examples. SOP of 0.0 by 0 NaN, SOP of minus 0.0 by 0.0 minus, so here NaN is the output by default we are getting. So I hope now the terminology is a very clear for you people, right? Any explanation is required about this one? So here make sure you should aware. So NaN infinity, now there is a difference. Is it clear, right? Now just let me summarize once again SOP statements, right? So that you people can aware. Now can you tell SOP of 10 by 0? What is the answer? Runtime exception, arithmetic exception, division by 0. SOP of 10 by 0.0. What is the answer? Infinity is the answer. Infinity. SOP of 0 by 0. What is the answer? Runtime exception, arithmetic exception, division by 0. Okay. SOP of 0.0 by 0. What is the answer? NaN. Are you getting? At the beginning, whenever most of the people observe these SOPs, everyone is going to fail. Sir, in all cases we are going to get runtime exception, arithmetic exception, like no, we are not going to get arithmetic exception in some cases, right? I hope, is it clear for all of you? So when we will get infinity, when we will get NaN, now you people should have clear clarity. Now based on this NaN, okay, there is one important loophole I have to explain. Here see a bit very important point. Here I am taking SOP of an observe SOP of 10 lesser than float dot NaN, because NaN is a constant. 10 less than float dot NaN. SOP of 10 less than or equal to float dot NaN. 10 less than. SOP of 10 greater than float dot NaN. 10 greater than float dot NaN. SOP of 10 greater than or equal to float dot NaN. Okay, like because NaN is a static variable, that's why float dot class name. 10 double equal to float dot NaN. Sir, float dot NaN double equal to float dot NaN. Float dot NaN double equal to float dot NaN. SOP of float dot NaN double equal to float dot NaN. SOP of, yeah, 10 not equal to float dot NaN. Next SOP of 10 float dot NaN not equal to float dot NaN. Float dot NaN not equal to float dot NaN. Okay, that's all. Sir, can you tell what is the answer in the first case? What is the answer in the second case? Ayyo, don't think too much. What is the answer in the first case, second case, third case? Like the people who attended already, be silent. So it's a very important, so that remaining people can think much, they can remember the point well. First one, false, because 10 less than float dot NaN is nothing but may not, false. Okay, that's here observe, false is the answer. 10 less than or equal to float dot NaN, false or not? False, because who told you it is a less than or equal to? False is the answer. 10 greater than float dot NaN. NaN is not infinity. Infinity is the different, NaN is the different. 10 greater than float dot NaN, true or false? 10 greater than float dot NaN, true or false? Okay, make sure. Okay, at least let me feel false. 10 greater than or equal to float dot NaN, false. Sir, 10 and NaN both are equal? No, false. False. Sir, float dot nan, both are equal. Hey, float dot nan, sir, both are equal. What is the answer? False. Oh, too good, Anna. 10 not equal to float dot nan. Sir, correct. Because 10 both are equal. False is the answer. Then not equal. Yeah, true is the answer. And float dot n both are equal. I am asking, you are telling false. Both are not equal. Then the answer will become true, right? These answers are correct. Yes. Can you spell out these answers are correct? There are some changes, small minor changes are required. Where we require the change? Last two are also false, so that uniform answer everywhere. No. Where? Oh, last one false, but you are taking true. Yes. All these answers are correct or not? Oh. Make sure perfectly all these answers are correct and they common. Correct. No, not required to change anywhere. Now the conclusion, how the behavior is defined for NaN. Internal behavior defined for NaN is for any x value, including NaN, for any x value, x less than NaN, x less than or equal to NaN, x greater than NaN, x greater than or equal to NaN, x double equal to NaN, for any x value including NaN, all these things returns false. All these things. But only one thing, for any x value including NaN, x not equal to NaN. This one is nothing but returns true, right? Make sure internally NaN behavior is defined in this style. Okay, this loophole also you should aware. Now let me consider. Here just observe this one. SOP of 10 greater than or less than plus 1. Float dot NaN. Okay, this is so like I'm taking, right. Second one less than or equal to. Third one greater than. Fourth one greater than or equal to. Okay, like next double equal to, like. Okay, next one 10 not equal to, not equal to, like I'm taking. Next last one float dot NaN not equal to float dot NaN. Correct or not? Not equal to float dot NaN. So same SOPs only, except the last two. In all remaining cases is nothing but the answer we are going to get what? False is the answer. Let me cross check this one. Here compiles fine. If I can run, what the answer? False, like. But last two things are nothing but true itself is the answer. I hope you people can very clearly read. Okay, this is how the behavior of NaN is defined internally, right? Take a note. Keep star for this. Note. For any x value, including NaN, for any x value including NaN, the following expressions returns false. The following expressions returns false. Okay, take this part. X less than NaN, x less than or equal to NaN, x less than NaN, less than or equal to NaN, greater than NaN, greater than or equal to NaN. Next, x double equal to NaN. So the answer is what? False. Only this part, don't take this one, only this part. X like Clear for all of you, right? Okay. Next para. For any x value, next para. For any x value, including NaN. For any x value, including NaN, including NaN, including NaN, the following expression returns. The following expression returns. The following expression returns true. The following expression returns true. Like, okay, take this example. X not equal to NaN. X not equal to NaN. So nothing but what the answer na? True itself is the answer. X not equal to NaN. The answer is true itself, right? I hope you people can very clearly read. Now after take this example anyway. All these SOPs. SOP of take all 10 less than float.nan, 10 less than or equal to float.nan, 10 greater than float.nan, greater than or equal to float.nan, next double equal to NaN, completed, right? Take all the corresponding output also, make sure. Completed, I hope. So this is the behavior you people should aware about NaN, not a number. Very important bit for the exam. In the float and double, if the result is undefined, there is a way to represent undefined result, which is nothing but NaN. Clear, right? Completed, I hope. Okay. Next, just a matter of another 5 minutes, let me complete, so that arithmetic operators will be completed. Completed, right? Next, so keep studying arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Yes, there are some just clarifications. Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Here just observe. Now first thing, even it is not required to cover, but still you people should aware. Is it a compile time error or runtime exception? Runtime exception. In a CJP exam, minimum 10 questions. First option compile time error, second option runtime exception. So you should aware, is the problem at compile time or the problem at runtime, right? Mandatory. So is it a compile time problem or runtime problem? Compile time or runtime? Yes, first one, it is runtime exception. Sir, it is runtime exception, but not compile time error. It is a runtime exception but not compile time error. First one. Second one, listen, it is a runtime exception but not compile time error. Second one, do you know when we will get arithmetic exception? In integral arithmetic. Is there any chance to get arithmetic exception in floating point arithmetic? If the result is infinity, if the result is undefined, we never going to get arithmetic exception in floating point arithmetic. Is it clear, right? So that's why make sure it occurs or it is possible. It is possible only in integral arithmetic. It is possible only in integral arithmetic, but not in floating point arithmetic. but not in floating point arithmetic. Is nothing but like. Third one, do you know when we will get arithmetic exception? Make sure you people should have clear clarity. When we will get arithmetic exception? Here, most of the times, do you know, the only operators which cause arithmetic exception are division and modulo. Sir, these are, sir, I am not using division and modulo. Sir, I am not using this. I am sure you never going to get arithmetic exception. Sir, I am getting arithmetic exception. Array, you use division or modulo operator, right? So the only operators which cause arithmetic exception are division and modulo, right? Are you getting? A small summary. When is it a compile time error or runtime exception? Runtime exception, but not compile time error. It is possible only in integral arithmetic, but not in floating point arithmetic. Next, the only operators which cause arithmetic exception are division and modulo. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, add. Take the summary. Take this one. I hope is clear. Take. It is a runtime exception but not compile time error. Next, it is possible only in integral arithmetic but not in floating point arithmetic. But not, it's possible only in integral arithmetic but not in floating point arithmetic. Next, the only operators which cause arithmetic exception are division and modulo. The only operators which cause arithmetic exception are division and modulo. Completed, right? Okay, that's all. Okay, make sure you should evaluate this terminology, right? That's all. So this is the last point anyway.